What do you think? What is needed for exceptionally successful life? What is that one thing which is the more of everything else? What is that one thing which can get you everything else you need for success? No matter who you are, no matter what you want, no matter what are your desires, dreams, expectations, what you're capable of, what are you working on, where do you live, you rich, poor, who is your mentor, guide, what books you have read. You get only what you believe. That's right. Your beliefs are at the core and source of everything in life. The power of belief is greater than anything else. You got unlimited power and possibility, and you unleash it only when you believe. Kyle Maynard, a man with no arms, no legs, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, where many of us with 2 arms and 2 legs can't even think of it. He could do it because he could believe. So if our beliefs are so important and powerful, why is it so that so many of us fail to reap benefits of powerful beliefs? If our beliefs are so powerful, important, why don't we all have empowering beliefs? Why don't we all think big things in life? Why don't we all chase almost impossible kind of goals like Kyle Maynard? Why do we settle for average in life? The answer is very simple and hidden in the process of belief formation and factors. The brain has 2 categories of beliefs, possible and impossible. These categories are dynamic in nature. You keep shuffling things from one category to another. So at one point of time, you may believe that running marathon is possible for you. But after trying to run your first kilometer, you may start believing, oh, it's quite impossible for you. Or you might believe that running marathon is impossible for you. But after completing your first 5K, you may start believing that it's possible for you. Prior to May 6, May 1954, no one could ever think of running a mile in less than 4 minutes. It was a big barrier. But a man called Roger Bannister could believe and chase a goal of breaking this barrier. He ran a miracle mile in 3 minutes 59.4 seconds, and this even changed the beliefs of thousands of runners who also ran a mile less than 4 minutes. Today, thousands of people have broken that barrier, including school students. So whatever limitations you're putting on yourself, they are not real. They are just beliefs that you have acquired over a period of time. You must be having your own list of things which you thought to be impossible, but became possible later. Or things which were possible at one point of time have become impossible. So how do you form your beliefs? You have to understand that your belief system, the things you keep in these 2 dynamic categories of beliefs, are based on real life events, experiences, stories you tell to your brain. Yes, stories you tell to your brain. Your beliefs are mostly informed. They're not facts. They're perceptions, opinions formed on the basis of limited learning for various modes of information. So the biggest reason of limiting belief is your source of information, your influencing word. Means, what are your references in life? Your references are most important aspect of your life. In reality, your brain can only think of things which can achieve. So if you think and you want to become rich, certainly you can be. But your existing belief maybe it's possible for you, it's impossible for you. This is based on real life events and experiences and the stories you have told to yourself. Now, how it happens that we start believing things even though they may not be true or correct? It's a cumulative and complex process inside our brain, but for our purpose of simple understanding, it happens over a period of time when you give up your power and allow yourself to be defined inside a box of limitations by the people around you. Our belief system is influenced and shaped by everyone around us. It's being shaped and reshaped since our childhoods. Today, digital media has the biggest impact on our belief system. Now let's get into the real thing, how to form new beliefs serves you. The key is very few people are going to believe you, what you believe about yourself, especially if you believe something big. So you should never allow others to tell you what is possible or impossible for you. Make your world really big. The biggest problem is we live in a tiny world of influence, bunch of people who have very little or limited knowledge and experience, above all very shallow look of life with low and no ambition. Make your influencing world bigger. Point 2. You can choose to believe anything based on your brain pattern. So you may ask me a question why I'm not able to believe that I can be super rich or super successful. The answer is existing conflicting belief deep inside. Most of us already believe that being super rich or super successful is not for everyone. It is for exceptional one, and general rule is being average, and you settle for that. Before you implant new belief, you have to fight with your existing one. 2 conflicting beliefs can't coexist. Installing a belief system which has no conflict in your brain is very easy. You can do it quickly. But a belief which has its conflict already existing in your brain takes time to get started. So being super rich or super successful may first require removing the belief of average. To do it, you need actual references, stories, experiences. You have to show your brain real life stories, experiences of one becoming super rich or super successful. And then you can easily start replacing your old belief system. But it's not necessary that you need real life experiences. You can convince your brain based on your assumptions, stories. It is time-taking process, and always remember your old patterns are always capable of hijacking your thoughts and sync evident. Changing belief systems is to a process. On the one hand, you need to constantly allow empowering thoughts to enter your brain. On the other hand, you need to stop listening to people who are doubters, who are promoters of limiting belief. So you need to switch from fixed mentality to flexible mentality. Stop being too rigid and closing your opinions. Become open, receptive to better, new, fresh ways of doing things. Keep yourself open to every new idea. Next, start observing your limited beliefs. Make a list of all items which lie in your possible and impossible categories. Analyze them whether they are serving you or limiting you, and try to eliminate limiting beliefs. It will be hard. You will mess up, and eventually you're gonna win. Next, you can take help of affirmation and visualization. They are of great help. Start affirming what you want and visualize it every day. It's time for action. Get out of comfort zone. Start taking some action. Whatever you want in life, write it down. Break it down to baby steps. Choose at least one step which you can take now, and take it now.